Just doing quick charts of interest. Just do this for my own interest, look back on and see how things were going at the time, and helps with my research. See how I was thinking at the time. And US dollar looks like it's hit resistance on this underside of this trend line here, so it's failing to make a new. It's just sort of chopping sideways at the moment while it decides what to do. But if we look at commodities, copper and gold and silver are expecting a quite a bit weaker dollar by the looks of it. Euro pound still working on this setup. It's on this. It's testing this resistance here. It goes all the way back here to last year, and when this breaks down, I thought it was going to break down here, but it didn't. But look at the MACD, how it's diverging from price here. That's a sure sign that this should give way any time now. So just waiting for it to turn over, and it should be a good move. The weekly's dead flat. It's typical of a weekly distribution. It's going to be interesting. The weekly MACD could have still a bit of work to do. It's a bit too strong yet to get a daily reversal, so it might have a few goes before it actually rolls over. But as the weekly MACD was too strong back here. I think I mentioned it at the time. The weekly MACD was still too strong at that point, and it's probably going to still be too strong here. It might just go sideways for a bit. But it's a massive rally on Euro pound to the upside there. It's awesome when you get long rallies like that. But it's interesting to note this diverging daily MACD here. So it's one that these are the sort of things I like to follow through and just see how they end up turning out. Way miles from the 100 MA here too. It's miles from the 100-day MA, miles from the weekly Kijunsen. So it's just one of those things you like to just see how they end up. And gold has been on a really good rip here, so there's a nice consolidation here and then a breakout here, so that was a real nice one there. And that means that gold traders are expecting a weaker dollar, and that makes sense too, which is what I've been expecting, a weaker dollar, but I thought it would have been much weaker than where it is by now. But silver has been on an absolute rip. Just broke out of this consolidation here and it just went bunter up here like this daily consolidation on the 4 hour. It just went nuts. That's been really good. Excuse me, melting. What else? Copper's been good too. Consolidation here on the 4 hour, but it's a daily distribution here on the. So could see a breakout of the. Breakout above the Kumo here, potentially, if the dollar was to weaken quite a bit on copper. Could see a breakout, and it's been quite good. Oil's been sold off here. This was a typical false breakout here of the Kumo because of the flat Kijunsen like that. That was a real nice one on the 4 hour to the downside there. And this support was when it broke. Support was when it turned up off the 61.8 Fibonacci, and it found resistance at the point of control there, which it often does, and tried to come back to the flat Kijunsen and then rallied again. The false breakout, and now it's turned back to catch the Kijunsen again. S&P 500 is never expected to see a breakout to a new high, but that's the way it goes, and that's why you have to follow the just allow the trading method to do its job. You don't try to anticipate. If I tried to guess where this market was going to go, I would have had no idea. But that's why my trading method's so important, because I don't try to guess where it's going to go. I just follow what my indicator's showing me. So, a bit of work to do on that yet, but the junk bonds are turned over here, so junk bonds are giving a bearish lead, so stocks should follow potentially. And the VIX is just testing on the 4 hour here of the trender, and it's coming off this support base here. So as I've said in past videos, it doesn't really do much. It's not really that bearish with stocks unless it's above this centre line or the 0 line on the MACD here. It's not going to be really. Not going to really see any big moves. See, like that was above the 0 line on the MACD there, and then it took off to the upside. Then you don't tend to see that while it's below the centre line. All ordinaries, the ASX briefly broke to a post GFC. That was where the high that it reached just before the GFC, and now it just briefly touched above that old pre-GFC high again. It's had a ripping year. The ASX has had a ripping year in 2019. Had some great stocks, great ASX stocks this year. It's mainly the smaller caps that I trade on the ASX. And Bitcoin had a typical false breakdown here. This range here was. This sideways consolidation here was it's actually a distribution, because it broke down below the Kijunsen and then went back up to the resistance and then back. It broke down here towards the so it found support at the Kumo here, and then it's rebounded back up because the Kijunsen's dead flat and the volume profile is very low. So the buyers came in, and now it's in a 4 hour. It's turned bullish on the 4 hour, so there's a bit of short term dip buying going on. Hard to say where it's. I think longer term it's just going to go sideways for a while. The same Litecoin's actually had quite a bit of a sell off, but it's run out of steam to the downside now, so there's just a bit of short-term buying going on, dip buying coming in now, and that's about it. But certainly been some good moves, good tradable moves around. Litecoin wanted to retrace back up to the 100 MA here, which it often does. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here. That's about it for now, and it's been a good week. Alright, bye for now.